the time right now. Well, for the second year in a row, Halifax's Scotiabank Stadium will be hosting a professional bull riding event. It's set for June the 1st. And for the second year in a row as well, there will be animal rights advocates on hand to protest the show. Retired veterinarian Hugh Chisholm is among the event's critics, and he joins me on the phone here this morning. Hugh, good morning to you.
Good morning, Rick.
How are you doing this morning, sir?
Well, I'm glad to hear the Mooseheads are doing well, and I fully support entertainment where humans are involved, and no moose will be harmed during any of those events, which is great news.
But when it comes to bulls, you take a different tact on that.
Well, we're not in the 1800s anymore. This is not the Wild West. This is the 21st century, and we need to change how we treat animals and how we view entertainment events that revolve around animals. And this event is nothing about animals being treated kindly. This is about making money on the backs of animals, and I take great exception to that.
But the Professional Bull Riders Association says that the animals are treated well. There's no animal abuse takes place at all. What do you say to that?
Oh, that's the standard mantra for anybody who's in animal entertainment business. We love our animals. We treat them like family, yada, yada. I mean, that's just the chorus that they sing. But, whether the animals are treated kindly or not, and I take great exception to those words, but even if they are, just the fact that you're transporting them all over the place in the backs of trucks and they're spending their lives in noisy arenas and so on. I mean, that's not how animals should be treated. This, like I say, we know better. We should be doing better. And this is not about the animals. This is about the money that can be made on the backs of the animals.
But are these animals being, harmed in any way outside of, physical harm given to them?
Well, there's a good question, Rick, because a lot of what happens to these animals is not visible to the public. But if you look at the whole industry, I mean, this is the pinnacle of the industry, but this has to start somewhere, and it starts in, ranches and backyards in the Wild West where bulls have to be, they have to learn how to buck, so to speak, or they like to say they're bred to buck, which makes me laugh because, it's not that they're being bred to enjoy bucking. Of course, they're going to pick the best buckers in order to get the best bang for their buck, but the whole industry is based around animals doing something that really they don't want to be doing or shouldn't be doing. And so, there may not be blood and guts on the arena floor afterwards in the Scotiabank Centre, but what have the animals gone through to get to that point? What do all the associated animals go through to support this industry? There's lots that goes on behind the scenes that we never get to see. Where do these animals go when they're not in the arena performing, when they're on the road? I mean, those are all things that are questions that never seem to get answered.
But there's obviously a demand for this kind of event, or else they wouldn't be here.
Absolutely, there's a demand. There used to be a demand for circuses until people learned that that sort of use of animals is not appropriate, and that's why I'm doing this interview, because people need to learn that just because something might be fun and entertaining doesn't make it right, and we need to change. We need to support sporting events that involve human competitors, like the Mooseheads and the Memorial Cup. I mean, that's humans entertaining humans, and I fully support that. Those guys are out there because they want to be out there, but are those animals out there because they want to be out there? I don't think so. That's the whole point of this is we don't see circuses coming here anymore. We shouldn't be seeing bull riding events, certainly not in the Maritimes. We're not a cowboy culture, and that's really what this is all about.
So what do we do about this then? Boycott the performance, or is there more to do, or what's your advice here this morning?
Well, boycott the performance, yes, but I'm sure they'll pack the arena like they did last year, and they'll probably keep packing it as long as they keep coming. There's always going to be an appetite among some members of the public, but we need to educate the public that what's happening here is not appropriate, and maybe over time, things will change. Maybe we need to lobby our politicians in order to get some, strict rules around this sort of thing, and maybe they won't be as interested in coming back to Halifax. But
have you talked to government officials at all? Has anyone suggested that maybe they're looking at new rules and regulations or something along those lines?
I don't think there's an appetite among government officials yet. Again, I think we have work to do there because there's a lot of support among, big money for this sort of thing. So it's not going to be as easy to make change there. But, I mean, we've made a huge amount of progress for animal welfare among the companion animals in Nova Scotia the last few years. So in one sense, we're leaders in the country for, some of the legislation that's in effect here against animal cruelty. And then this sort of thing comes to Halifax and leaves a huge stain on the city's record. So really, I think, there's room there to improve. We just have to sit back and look at this and say, do we really want to participate in something that is inherently cruel?
Indeed. Hugh, I appreciate your time as always. How are your cats doing, by the way?
Well, we lost one a couple of weeks ago, an old-timer. She came to the end of the road, but others are doing well and hanging in there, enjoying life.
We've got a federal election coming up soon this fall. Any of your cats potential candidates?
Well, Earl Grey had experience in that area, so I'm not sure if he's interested in running. But, given the way things are going in federal politics, I think there's probably going to be a fair amount of support if he does.
So Earl Grey's hanging in there tough, is he?
Oh, absolutely.
Good stuff. Chris. Hugh, right. Thank you, Katie. Thank you very much for your time as always, Hugh Chisholm. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Rick. I do appreciate your time as well.
Have a great day, sir.
You too.
Bye-bye. That's retired veterinarian Hugh Chisholm with us here on a Thursday morning. And Hugh,